Step into a dense park or a jungle, and you are immediately surrounded by a chaotic wall of green. Casually looking reveals a blur of foliage, but active observation requires us to identify the individual organisms competing for sunlight within that tangle. To make sense of this environment, we have to adopt the mindset and specific tools of a field biologist. Careful, targeted observation is what transforms this overwhelming natural chaos into understandable data. Field scientists rely on a structured observation table like this to organize their findings. We create specific columns for measurable traits: stem hardness, leaf shape, and flower type. We follow one cardinal rule: collect data safely. That means recording details without plucking leaves, uprooting plants, or harming the ecosystem. Instead of writing down guesses, we record exact physical features, noting whether a stem feels soft and tender or hard and woody. This systematic recording is the necessary foundation for every classification that follows. The first major feature scientists use to sort the plant kingdom is the stem. A tree is defined by a tall, thick, hard, brown, woody trunk that only begins branching high above the ground. The massive structure of this great banyan tree demonstrates the sheer scale and hardness of a mature tree stem. Herbs represent the opposite end of the spectrum. Plants like common grass have short, soft, tender, and green stems. Shrubs, like a rose or hibiscus bush, serve as the structural middle ground. While both can have woody stems, look at where they branch. A shrub branches aggressively from the very base of the soil line, while a tree grows a distinct trunk before branching higher up. Analyzing stem thickness, color, and branching height instantly divides the vast plant kingdom into 3 distinct, manageable tiers. Some plants break these rules entirely, possessing stems too weak to stand upright on their own. Climbers use these weak stems to aggressively wind their way up trees or trellises to reach the sunlight. Creepers, like watermelons and pumpkins, spread horizontally across the ground to support their heavy fruits. In the living world, structural weakness drives these alternative, successful evolutionary growth strategies. We can also shift our focus from the macro scale of stems down to the micro scale of a single leaf. If you look at the surface of a leaf, you will see a specific pattern of veins. This arrangement is called venation. We look for 2 main patterns. Parallel venation features straight lines running alongside each other, while reticulate venation forms a messy, net-like web of lines. These surface patterns serve as a biological blueprint, acting as a predictive map to the plant's hidden underground root structure. Panning beneath the soil on the left, parallel venation correlates to a fibrous root system, a dense cluster of thin roots spreading shallowly. On the right, reticulate venation reveals a taproot system, featuring one thick central root growing deep into the earth. Careful observation of visible, above-ground features allows scientists to accurately predict biological structures buried deep in the dirt. Let's return to the initial, seemingly chaotic park scene from the beginning of our journey. Applying these classification rules changes how we perceive the environment. We no longer see a wall of green. We see a tree, an herb, and the invisible taproot we know is beneath this reticulate leaf. Classification transforms a confusing environment into a highly organized, readable map of life. Grouping organisms this way reveals the underlying logic and order of the living world. These basic observation skills are the tools professional field scientists and ecologists use every day. Researchers use classification tables to monitor ecosystem health and track the long-term effects of climate change. Mastering plant identification is a critical step in navigating a massive biodiversity hotspot like the Western Ghats. In areas this dense, researchers catalog specific species to discover new medicines. Take a sketchbook outside today and pick a few plants in your own neighborhood. Use their stems and leaves to see where they fit. Meaningful discovery starts the moment you decide to look closely at the world right outside your door.